All right, all right. So we are now on episode number 6. Bring up
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
and my guest here, we have been trying to get for a conversation. We've been trying to get together for, I'm gonna say, a little over a month.
Yes.
Her schedule is crazy. She's super busy, and so, but she'll be able to tell you all about what she has going on. I am just so excited. You know how you have Facebook friends, and I say it all the time.
Yes.
Facebook friends, that's cliche, but
Mm-hmm.
when you really connect with somebody, it goes deeper than being a Facebook friends. We haven't met yet in person, but we're gonna meet soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait. Can't wait. I mean, we're 2 hours away from each other. There's no reason for us to, yes, like I mentioned to you before, I'm a true believer in spirit. I watch people. I don't say a lot, but I tend to just watch. And when my spirit say it's okay to connect with somebody, I move. If my spirit is in doubt, I just keep like I'm like no.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
and I'm telling you, I think I've been following you for almost a year now. You
Oh
know,
wow.
yes,
Okay.
and it's not. I think probably Cassie told me about you.
Okay.
Yes, Cassie told me about you, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm part of this group. You have to be, and like go and follow that page." And then, I started, following you and all the amazing things that you are doing. So, it's an honor. I am, so thankful to be here. And this is like my very first interview since the COVID. I've just been home. I haven't done
Oh,
anything. I haven't networked. I have not done nothing. It's just like God, that's just like, okay, I need to keep you busy. And when you stay still, and I think that's the thing, sometimes we get so busy, and yet busy not being productive. And it was like COVID for me, it's just like a time for me. I stay still. I'm a Christian, and I just left everything up to God.
yes.
And let me tell you, 2020 has
Mm-hmm.
been one of the best year in business.
Yes, it
I
has.
mean, yeah, we've met our
So,
goal. Like months ago, like months ago.
so
Yeah.
let me introduce you. So this is Rebecca. We're talking like we're not being recorded, like we're
Oh
not
my
on
God. Yes.
podcast,
Right.
like we're
Right.
not on YouTube. We're just talking, and that's how people do when they really connect. They just talk.
Yes.
They're informal. So I just
Yes. Yes.
introduce
We're gonna be
Miss
formal now.
Rebecca, and I said, Rebecca, how do you pronounce your last name?
Jacques. The S is silent because it's French. No, I was born and raised in Haiti.
Okay.
No, I moved to the United States. I used to come on vacation, and in 1997, I moved to New Hampshire. People always like, "Huh, where?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Me,
yeah.
yeah, New Hampshire. Me and my cousin, we were the only two black kids in the whole school, not the class, the whole entire high school. The
Whoa.
whole entire high school. I mean, like, it's so funny. You look at my senior picture. Oh, like, oh, here she is. Because me
Oh,
and my cousin were the only two. Yes, and but let me say, I have to say this. We were never treated any different.
awesome.
We were like the star of the school. It was amazing. It was amazing, and I moved to Florida in 2007. So we've been here since 2007. I have, my family and I are very, very close. My mom and dad and my little sister, who is a social worker. You know,
Okay.
yes. So yeah, that's
Okay.
me. Yes, and I'm
So
a registered nurse.
2007. So let me ask you, Rebecca, did you get your RN here, license here, or did you here? Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I was a CNA in New Hampshire when I was in high school. I started working as a CNA in high school in New Hampshire. I, did the whole CNA, LPN, and RN. And
Okay.
I grew up in a like very my dad. I grew up like my dad always had his own business, and I started my own business. And I'm like, every day I'm like, I'm gonna go back to school, but it's just like I'm like a one of those people that always wants to learn something different.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm
Lifetime
working something
student.
else.
You're a lifetime student.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So I do
Yeah.
webinars all the time. And that's, I think it was you that posted something like, the information that you can get from your mentor, from a consultant, a true consultant with receipts.
Yeah.
You cannot Google those stuff. I mean, this year alone, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars in, webinars. And like this weekend, I have 2 days, 2 full weekend of like webinars that I spent like, over $500 for. So, I mean, if you want to, build successful business,
Mm-hmm.
you have to spend the money,
Absolutely.
It's not easy,
Absolutely. And we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
We will talk about that.
Yes.
I want our listeners to get to know you. So just tell them a little bit about you on the business side. I know you're a nurse, but you're also a real estate investor.
Yes.
And so just tell the listeners a little bit about you, how you got started in real estate and blending the two together.
Okay, can I just go back to like everything I've been doing? Okay, so as I
Go ahead,
mentioned, I
girl.
was an LPN, and then I got my RN, and then I was working at a trauma center, the first trauma center in the Treasure Coast. I'm in Port St. Lucie, by the way, which
Okay.
is 40 minutes north of Palm Beach.
Okay.
So I worked in the hospital, and like I said, it's so important to have mentors. And I've worked on the floor for 3 months. That was it. I had a great mentor. She's like, you know what? She saw something in me, I guess I didn't see in myself, and give me a job that people that had been working there for 10 years was, waiting for. And that was a nurse auditor. So I was the nurse auditor for this trauma center. Now I would work very closely with, the CFO, the directors, all the directors. I'm talking about cardiovascular, radiology, like the PT department, the behavioral department, and
Mm-hmm.
even work very closely with the trauma director at that time and help create the HIC picks, and not create them, but because they already exist, but like work with the CFO to
Implement it.
yeah, different levels and the rates, which was a great experience. And with healthcare, how it goes, when the CFO goes, everybody else goes. So I mean, the CFO left and went to Delray Medical Center, things were not the same. So in 2013, I switched to the insurance world. So I went from fighting the insurance to pay us to telling the hospital and everybody else, no, this does not meet criteria. Yeah, so I was actually one of the nurses that launched the long-term care Medicaid in 2013. And you see everybody talking about Medicaid. We did not have, we had straight Medicaid. In 2013, the governor, Scott, gave the contract to private sectors like United Healthcare, Sunshine, Centene. So I worked with United Healthcare. So I was one of the nurses in 2013 that did the launch. And then that's how I noticed there was a need for great home care services. Because, I mean, our goal as case managers is to make sure that our patients remain home safely, right? So now I was referring, patients to agencies that were not qualified to provide those services. I recall one time I went to a patient's home, and I had to call 911 because the CNA did not know what to look for. But then again, that's why it's always very important as a business owner to make sure you don't just hire just anybody. You also train them, and you handpick who, because the CNAs, the nurses, they represent you. So therefore, it's imperative you have that communication. So from case management, I did utilization management with Medicare Advantage. which was a great experience. But then again, I decided to just do my business full time.
Okay.
The home care agency. With me, with the home care agency is, we're not, I like to say we're not like everybody else.
Okay.
I don't go out to the hospital or the nursing home begging for referrals. We actually don't have any private duty cases.
Okay.
All of our business are contracts. We are
Okay.
contracted with like detox facilities.
Okay.
We are contracted with ALS. We just recently got a huge contract with a Fortune 500 company to do hospice. And then, like now I'm trying to be like better at it, is like real estate, of course. We have we have a home in by tradition. Like I hope, like, next time when you're down this way, I can show you. It's a beautiful, beautiful home. Unfortunately, we were trying to do a group home, but it does not meet zoning. I wanted to do it under APD, but it did not meet zoning. But we're still gonna go and try, probably just doing it without the license, or do it like a medical foster. So we're keeping our options open.
Okay. So right now so the name of your company is Precise Care Services.
Yes.
Okay. And so what your company does is provide staffing.
Correct.
Right?
That's what we do mostly. Correct. Yeah. 99%.
Provide staffing for these big agencies or big organizations.
Correct. Yes. Correct.
Okay. So that's one leg of your company. And what's the other leg of the company?
We do workers' comp as well. So if we have contracts with several workers' comp, where we do case management for them, and then we also do like wound care, or like if the patient is on IV antibiotic, then we'll send out our nurses to do that as well. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, let's say for nurses who are, let's just be real.
Yeah.
The nurses that are at the bedside and they're totally, totally sick of being at the bedside, like how could they get started with doing what you do?
Okay. Well, in the state of Florida, and even it's so funny, I was just thinking about it today. Only if they allow us, how much money we will save. I mean, let's just say, for example, the group home, right? Do you know how much money we will save the hospital?
Yes.
The insurance company? Yes. I mean, for example, for you, like, the group home for homeless company. I mean, as a case manager, I've seen patients just come in.
Yep.
Just because they don't have a place to stay. Right? Maybe it's too cold out. So now, they allow us to open those, group homes without all this craziness, like license and things like that. We can keep those people from going back and forth to the hospital, right? In the state of Florida, as far as agencies, we have the homemaking and companion, where that's how I started with the homemaking and companion. However, with that, you cannot even touch a patient. You cannot, like, if a patient is wheelchair bound, technically you cannot accept that patient because you cannot do any hands-on whatsoever.
Right.
It's a very easy application. It's, I think the application fee is $50. You don't need an office, nothing. But unfortunately, as nurses, we all know if a patient is coming from rehab, they will need some hands-on. They will need some hands-on, okay?
Okay.
And with me is, like, I see a lot of people's, like, you can I see a lot of people get away with, like, still doing hands-on. Unfortunately, I'm the type of person that I do things by the book, because, when I was a homemaking and companion, I got showed up in my office several times. That's what really pushed me to submit my application for the non-skilled, because even though you don't need a license, they don't do surveys, they can still show up. And the reason why they showed up is because I had on my brochures and on my website, Alzheimer's and dementia. And they were like, well, so how are you going to take care of Alzheimer's and dementia patients? Those people are very, they need care, I was like, you know what? I'll take it off.
Yes,
So
yes.
I went ahead and submit my application for what they call a non-skilled agency. That's the 299 that you'll see on my website and my Facebook page as well. And
Okay.
that will allow me to do personal care. However, with that, you have to submit CEMP to the state, all the region that you're planning on serving. The application fee is like $2,000. You do need an office. You need policies and procedures and things like that. However, it can be done. But I went and did it myself.
Okay.
So then I ended up going to an appeal. I had to appeal because they're trying to deny my application, because the person that I hired to do my financial ended up like saying that I need like $80,000 to operate, which of course at that time I did not have no $80,000.
Right, absolutely.
So I went for an appeal. And while I was going through the appeal, what I did was I went and submitted my application for a nurse registry. The nurse registry, you can hire nurses, CNAs, HHAs. However, they have to be 1099s. They cannot be W-2s. So basically, like right now, I got my nurse registry license before I received my non-skilled license.
Okay.
So now, basically we are staffing. I have my staffing license. I have my non-skilled license and my nurse registry license. So we basically we license to do like basically everything.
Okay.
Which we are very, very thankful for. Even though, like I mentioned, that I am, I do a lot of staffing. Some of the staffing that I cannot do under my staffing pool license, because, for example, the hospice that I provide services for, those patients will go to their home. Under the staffing pool license, you cannot go to patients' home. You can only go to facilities. You can only send your staff to facilities under that license, which is like $700 fee. And it's a very easy license to get, the staffing license. However, if you want, for example, workers' comp, my nurses go to the patient's home. So those falls under the nurse registry license. So when I do the background check and then I'm putting them under the clearinghouse, I have to make sure I'm selecting the right license, the right license. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say easy. It's not, but anything is possible.
Doable.
It is. It is doable. It's doable. Yes.
Okay. So you started out doing companion care.
Correct.
And the biggest barrier was that you could not touch the patients. And as a nurse, you have to touch patients.
Exactly.
Then you moved to do the non-skilled. How long was that process?
That process, I want to say about 9 months. And the reason is because
your bracelet's hitting something is making a noise.
Oh yeah, and the reason is because of the fact that the CPA that I hired was not very well versed on completing the financial part for me to send to ACA. So when I sent that over, they sent me a letter intent to deny. So therefore, I had to go to that. I had to appeal and things like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And so once you got the non-skilled license, then you moved to the nurse registry, right?
While I was going through the appeal process, I went and submitted my nurse registry license.
Now, why would a nurse in business need to submit for her nurse registry?
Well, with me, it was really the reason why I went for my non-skill. I was thinking of the marketing, because whenever you do the business, you want to know, okay, so how am I going to market? In my area, which is Region 9, 99% of the agencies are nurse registries.
Okay.
And which mean they are 1099. So therefore, I wanted to like, okay, if I'm going to be different, and then now in my area, the caregivers, the social workers, case managers, they know, they will ask, are you a nurse registry? Because they do not want to refer to agencies that are going to send a nurse contractor, to their patient's home. So that's why I went for the non-skilled, because under the non-skilled license, I'm able to have my own employees. They are W-2s. So
Okay.
that's why I went and did that. Yeah.
Okay. So the nurse, I want to get it straight because we have so many nurses in our group and that listen, on YouTube and on a podcast. And I just want to make sure that they understand this, where the steps you took and why you took those steps, and what those steps or taking those steps have done to your business, because so many people want to skip steps, and so many people want to do what they think they see you do, because they only see the outcome. They're not seeing you behind the scenes really applying for these businesses and things like that, and certifications and licensures and stuff. So they just take a glimpse of where you are now, and they don't understand the steps and why you have to take those steps. So that's why I keep going back. Like, I'm listening to you, I get it.
Yeah,
but I want to
make sure. Yes, correct.
Yes. So in the angle, and I love that you said the angle that you took was, it was a marketing, from a marketing standpoint. You wanted to stand out. So why would a company reach out to your company? What makes your company different from everybody else?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, look, I have a nurse registry, and you have your own employees, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So they know that they're just not getting people on the whim or fly-by nurses or fly-by aides,
Yeah, correct.
Are your employees, which makes a huge difference. And I just have to say this because my business bestie, she went live in a group this morning, and she made a point, and she was like, she said, people look at you differently when you have 1099s versus when you have employees.
Oh, really? Yeah, they do. I didn't even see that.
i.e., we all know about the pandemic. Well, if people had 1099s, they weren't able to get the PPP. Only people with employees were able to get the PPP.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that alone should turn the light bulb on for people and say, ding, ding, ding. Exactly. I need to take my business seriously.
Absolutely.
And take it to that next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you were thinking about that way before the pandemic.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's always the fact that, how can I build from this? You don't want to just stay the same. You say, how can I build? With me, it's always like, what can I do? How can I build? I mentioned to you, with us, we don't really, I was a case manager. People used to take me out to lunch all the time, and I'll take their lunch, even though I know I'm not going to send them the referrals, right? But then again, it's just like, okay, what can I do?
Right.
What else can I do? And remember I told you about my business best friend, whom I've yet to meet. She's in another state. She's the one that got me into the contracts. She was like, at that time, Humana was giving out contracts to do case management, and I used to work for an agency, and I didn't even know I could get it myself, So mind you, they have contracts out there.
So let's talk about that, Rebecca. We're trying to get these nurses, let's say, delivered from the floor.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about the contracts. So when your business bestie introduced the contracts to you and you opened your eyes like, wait a minute, this could be my contract, but I'm working as a contractor for the person.
Like getting $50 per visit
versus how much? Let's talk numbers. be real. You were
Yeah.
getting $50 per visit, but when you get the contract, hey, you get the whole pie, not just the piece of
Exactly.
it.
I mean, with me is in my business, my ratio is always like, if I cannot, it's 40%, nothing less.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
this is not a habit, it's a business.
It's a
whatever,
business.
whatever contract that I have, if I cannot make 40%, then I'm not doing it,
Yes.
And mind you, like I was working with these other agencies and doing those visits, not knowing I could go after those contracts myself. And Trina is the one that introduced me to that. And the minute she introduced me to contracts, that was it.
Yes.
That was it. I mean, me going to a nursing home begging for referrals, no.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm
No.
not.
So
No.
what does that, we don't have to go all deep, like do a deep dive in it, because you do so much in your business. You have so many things under your umbrella, which is awesome. I mean, super, because
Thank you.
we all know that you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Absolutely not.
So, but just give everybody like a brief overview on how they can get into the contract game.
And it's basically find out exactly what you feel comfortable doing,
Mm-hmm.
And network. Like my detox network, my detox contract, I got that contract. I'll never forget. I went to Sarah Jacques Roberts.
Convention,
She was over. Yeah, she was over at Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I drove almost 2 hours by myself. I don't do click. I don't know no click. I'm fine. I drove 2 hours by myself, right, to her. Like she had a tour. I went there,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting right behind this young lady,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she looks at me. She's like, "Oh, you're with them?" I said, "No, I'm by myself." And she looks at me like, "You're weird." Like, what? Like, who goes to those type of events by themselves, right? And she happened to be the director of a detox facility.
Come on.
In West Palm, right?
Mm.
Well, I know we're not talking numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let me tell you, and my numbers don't lie, I can pull my software. And that was when, oh God, less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And we've made over $100,000 in that contract alone.
Yes.
That was less than a year ago when Sarah Jacques Roberts was in Fort Lauderdale. I met her there, and you know what? We exchanged numbers, went into the presentation, and they had been with an agency for 19 years.
Whoa.
19 years. And I remember I had to meet with the CEO, everybody and their mother. And they were like, what are you going to do different? Like everybody comes here and just try to sell us, blah, blah, blah. And, they will give people chances and they messed up, And guess what? Now we are the only one in the facility. Yes, we are the only. We do staffing for them when they need LPNs and RN to work on the floor. And when the patients that are in detox, right? A lot of them needs one-on-one. Like right now, tonight, as we speak, we have 4 CNAs sitting with patients, like each patient, doing one-on-one. Because sometimes when those people are in detox, they need that one-on-one care.
Okay.
So now that's what we do.
Let's break this down for people who need visuals.
Yeah.
So you're sitting here with me on Zoom, and we're chatting, right?
Yeah.
And the comfort of your home, right?
Yes.
But you're making passive income.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
From the contracts.
Mm-hmm. That one contract.
That one contract. Let's be clear. That one contract. Let's be clear. And you got that contract by just networking.
Yeah.
Just networking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we both know that just because you network doesn't mean that's why you got the contract. That just started. That started the ignition.
Absolutely.
But you already had your business in place, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That event was less than a year ago. She was there less than a year ago.
So you didn't have to get ready for the contract.
Oh,
You were
no. You
already
have to
ready.
be ready. Yes. I didn't have to be ready. You
All
always
right.
have to be ready. Always. Always have your business cards with you. Always. Always have to be ready.
Okay.
Because once, you only get one chance. One. That's it. If you're not ready, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is to help so many nurses who want to get off the floor, who want to have a business, but don't know how or where to start. Listen, we're giving, all these interviews I've done so far, everybody has given out the blueprint of what they do, their specialty, their niche, and I'm going to tell you, there's a common thread. And the common thread is everybody was about their business, number one.
Yeah.
Everybody had their businesses set up properly.
Correct.
If you don't have your business set up properly, you're not, okay. First of all, you're not going to be able to get a contract. And you're not going to be able to get clients, or if you get them, you're not going to be able to keep them because you're not set up properly.
Absolutely. Always have a portfolio. With me, I have 2 portfolios. One always in my car. Because listen, we're gonna have lunch. Listen, my portfolio is always, just like my laptop, always in my purse.
Yes.
Have a portfolio. Have your W-9. That should always be signed. Be ready. You don't need to go to the IRS website and try to download it when somebody asks you for it.
Say that one more time, please. For the people in the back.
No, please. You should not have to be going to the IRS website. You should have your portfolio ready, your liability insurance, a very nice folder, a brief description, all your licenses, the things that and like with me, I even include the software that we have, some information about that, always, don't go to like a meeting with just your business cards and, what else? Make sure you have your portfolio ready.
I like that. And that's something that, let me ask you this real quick, a little off topic. Do you do any consulting?
You know what? No, but I am going to start because I get so many
okay.
So many questions. Many questions. Like, somebody just paid somebody over $6,000 and was on my inbox, and I was helping. And yes, that is something that we are launching. Because, like I mentioned, there's a need. There is a need for great, like not just home care, but great home care agencies, especially in the state of Florida,
Yes.
So, that's something that, we are launching next month.
All right, good. And the reason why I'm asking, because there's, one of my good friends, she does consulting for home care startup businesses as well. But I always say there's enough food on the table so everybody can eat. She can't service everybody.
Yes.
You can't service everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You may not be their cup of tea. She may not be their cup of tea. So yes, I'm very big on making sure that everybody has a seat at the table. With what their specialty is, because I don't have a home care business. I had a non-medical home care business back in 2016, and I'm like you, I quickly realized I couldn't make a lot of money doing that because I'm a nurse, and I realized I need to be hands-on, that. So so I don't have a home health company. I don't provide those services. But guess what? I have group homes. And I outsource those services.
That's amazing.
So there's so much money out there to be made. There are so many opportunities, but we want to get nurses prepared so that they're ready when the opportunity comes, or they can create the opportunity themselves.
Absolutely.
Because everybody's not going to let us sit at their table. Sometimes we have to make our own table.
Oh yeah, like I had to make my own table.
Exactly.
I had to make my own table. And one other thing I want to mention as well, I am a board member for the Alzheimer's Association.
Okay.
As woman, as a minority female,
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very important for us to have a seat at the table, or to do those things as well. I mean, as a board member, I think I'm the only Black in Southeast Florida, and I also do, like, actually the beginning of every year, United Way, they have, I sit on their healthcare panel because they give
Okay.
out grants. I know you guys discuss grants a lot in the group. That's one of the things, is just like, we have people making decisions that do not have healthcare background,
Mm-hmm.
saying, well, you know what, this organization only can have like $5,000, but yet their friends is getting all the money, all the grants,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know, like, the type of services, why, the elderly needs, like, for example, like different, like, programs and things like that. So that's one of the things that I do as well, is just like making sure that certain things, I do create my own table because I don't like to beg.
I know, right?
Like I said, I don't mind spending the money. I will spend the money for, again, like, I don't just hire any consultant. If I'm going to hire a consultant, you have to have that business, just like, with you, like, you have your group home, you consult. So therefore, if, when I'm going to open my group home, guess who I'm going to call, So,
Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, there's certain, it's one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I mention as well, is making sure that while we're doing those businesses, and making sure that, we also get a seat at those boards. I know you tell us that all the time, make sure you attend those meetings and things like that. Yeah, don't just, attend, but also make sure that you get a voice, and in order for us to do that, we have to have a
And guess what? If they don't see us, if you don't show up, they don't know you exist. Number one,
exactly.
they don't know you exist.
No.
And by showing up, they know that, number one, you exist.
Yes.
They know, number two, you are about your business, because
Correct.
you're showing up.
Yes.
Business meetings, and then number three, they know that you care.
Yes.
About what's going on.
Absolutely.
So those three things right there alone will open up so many doors.
Exactly.
So many doors for people, and I say it all the time because I'm very passionate about helping nurses get off of the floor.
Oh yeah.
They don't have to do real estate. They can do something else. It doesn't matter. But I just want, I'm passionate about it. Number one is because I worked my butt off for 25 years. No, 24 years I worked my butt off as a nurse. Yeah. I've been a nurse for 26 years, but the last 2 years I've been retired. So, and I haven't had to go back, and I, when you come out, you want to bring other people along with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I'm very big on that. And that's why I'm like, okay, you have to attend whatever it is you want to do. If you want to do home health care, attend those meetings, join those organizations, get some certifications, be involved in the community. Yeah. Nurses need to be involved in the community.
More involved. Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what you want to do. There's something for you to do in the community.
Absolutely. I mean, if remember I said my background is utilization management. Maybe that will, I mean, I hear people all the time that, I remember Trina and I, we were having a conversation. There was a time where, people will go to COVID and they'll get X amount of money. And I'm looking like numbers. I'm like the IV costs more than that. But they're paying you for the week. You understand? They charge, by the time you end your shift, that patient in that ICU bed, that was your paycheck for the whole month.
The whole month. Yep.
Yes. That was your pay.
Yes.
Okay? They're not doing us no favor.
No. And it's just teaching nurses how to switch it. There's a switch.
Switch the gear, yes.
You just got to turn that switch the nursing switch off and turn a business switch on.
Exactly.
But we know that we were taught to just take care of patients. We were never taught the business side.
Yeah.
And like you and I were both case managers.
Yeah.
And I've been a case manager since, I don't know, 2006.
Yeah.
So I got to see the administrative business side of healthcare.
Correct.
Which is totally different from the bedside.
Exactly.
It doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
And so I got all of those years, you know, in the case management side, learning the administrative business side of things. So it was easier for me to transition in business.
Correct.
You know, when it comes to nursing, the nursing part. But we just, for those of us who have, you know, reached a certain level, who have left bedside, who have become successful in business and trying to, you know, help the other nurses, you know, transition over. I mean, some nurses may want to always be at the bedside.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah.
I get it. But some nurses don't.
They don't. Exactly.
They don't. And so for the ones who, and some nurses want to be hybrid nurses. They want to do a little bedside so they don't lose their skills, but they want the business side.
Yeah.
So for us, you know, we have these conversations, you know, and we're able to, you know, get the word out. Okay, well, you can do this. And we have we try to offer all types of things, you know, ways for nurses to get from that bedside.
Absolutely.
So I'm so grateful. I'm blessed to be able to have this conversation with you, because you've given, I don't know how many tips. I mean, I've been typing them up. You've given like the non-skill, you've given about marketing, the importance of having a nurse registry, the importance of having your portfolio with you at all times, the importance of having a W-9 in your portfolio, your license,
liability insurance.
Insurance. Okay, insurance, and put that on there. Insurance. I also have business cards. You have the importance of having the software information.
Yes.
You know, so you can give them a little bit about
automated system. It's absolutely, like I mentioned to you, like I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me start getting ready for the meeting, and that's like almost like 5 o'clock, like 4:50. And then boom, one of my contracts, like, listen, I need 3 nurses for tonight.
Just like
7 o'clock. You know, if the reason why I can staff 3 nurses in less than 30 minutes is because I have automated system. You know, I'm not here calling. I don't have time to be calling people or texting them. You know, I go to my software and put the zip code, and then everybody within that, they get a text message at once, and then they reply.
What you said right there, I got chills all over my body. I'm very emotional and I'm very passionate about everything that I love. Automation will save your entire life.
Yes.
I did a video yesterday about that. I was on the tennis court at noon. With the instructor who was teaching me how to use the tennis, the ball machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How can I be in Dallas, Texas at noon on a tennis court by myself, lollygagging around? As I tell my husband, while he's working, I'm frolicking and playing.
Yeah.
How can I do that and still make money? Automation equals freedom.
Yes.
Everything I do is automated.
Yeah, I know. I can tell one of my nurses did not clock in because I got my alert.
Thank you. You cannot skip the steps. You have to automate your business.
Correct.
Or if you don't automate your business, guess what you are? A worker bee.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Are you working for your business or are you working? I'm at the point. No. I'm not doing that. Right now, it's to like how to grow. I'm building other things. I cannot be doing the same thing I was doing last year. No.
No. If your business was not automated, I'm going to tell you, I can already, okay, let's put the crystal ball in front of me, because I'm going to tell you what would have happened if your
Yeah.
business wasn't automated. When
Yeah.
you got that call
Mhm.
about 15-20 minutes before we started this interview, and
Yes.
they needed 3 nurses, if
Yeah.
your business wasn't automated, you would have, number one, you'd have had to cancel this interview.
Yes.
Number two, you would have taken probably hours and hours and hours trying to find somebody to cover
Absolutely.
those that, what. And then number three, it was a potential, you could have potentially lost your contract.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not the only, mind you, we're talking about a Fortune 500 company. I'm not the only agency they are
Okay.
contracted with.
There you go.
But guess what? I can tell you I'm the most reliable,
There you are.
because
Automation.
yes, I mean, why will she call me like 10 minutes before she leaves the office? Because she knows we are going to get it done.
Yes.
Those patients are getting out. They need the service. They need a nurse at 7.
There.
You have to, what sets you apart? And don't be afraid of those big franchise. That's
Yes.
what the thing is. Like, we have so many big friends, don't be afraid. Say, wait a minute, I cannot, you can learn from them. I listen to, for example, Bright Star CEO, founder. I
Yes.
listen to her all the time. If I was going to spend money in a franchise when it comes to home care, it would have been Bright Star. But I'm not about to pay nobody to do something that I can do myself and purchase like 10 zip codes when I can get the whole region, listen to, I mean, you ever, like, sometimes you wonder, like, we kill ourselves doing certain things, but yet do you ever see, for example, Bright Star going in? No. It's because one of them, they have amazing things in place. And also one of the things that they do is, like I mentioned, like the Humana contracts, they're one of the big providers for Humana.
Yes. Yes. Now, okay, so, oh, girl, you're giving so many gems. I'm telling you.
I know.
All right. So we know about the automation. Now let's talk about this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Systems.
Yes.
The importance of systems.
Yeah. It's very, for home care, there's so many out there. There is so many, you have to find the best one that works for you.
Yes.
I mean, with us, we started with Access Care. I need something very user friendly.
Yes.
That I can, ask my office manager, like, okay, spend one day and I need you to learn this,
Yes.
And Access Care was not for us, I had to break the contract. But other people loves it, loves it, but it was not for me. So we switched to something else that works for us, And also when we go, it has a family room where the family member, because for example, like the detox facilities, right? A lot of those patients, they're not from in-state, right? They're from out of state.
Gotcha.
So now the family member have, by them having access to that, say, okay, well, mom's gonna be, so-and-so will be the caregiver for tonight, because they can see the schedule. They can add a note, right? It gives them some type of control, because like I said, when you took, like when a lot of people that are in detox, those are like people with money. And they're not going to go down the street. If you will have money or you were a powerful politician, you're not going to go to West Palm to go to detox, right? Because people are going to know you. They're going to recognize you. So a lot of those people, they're from out of state.
Yes.
So therefore, with our system, with those things, we give the family member that are out of state access to the certain things.
The portals and stuff.
So they can.
It's very important.
Send us, messages and, ask us questions, versus having to call or email, because we get, hundreds of emails a day, but they can message us and, we'll see it right away and we can reply. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Rebecca, we're gonna have to do another interview because this has been awesome.
I
We
know.
haven't even touched on the real estate side, but we'll do that at another time.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah, we'll do that
absolutely.
another time. But
Yeah.
I, I just want to say, I saw your message and I replied to it. So I guess we're gonna do a brunch. Are we doing a brunch?
Yes, darling. Yes. Yeah. And then you know what? It's so funny. I put the message, and then for whatever reason, I was going and I saw the video of a something you were supposed to do with somebody. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I hope because of a bad experience with somebody, because I feel like it's something that we need, especially in Orlando. There's so many of us for Nurses Week trying to celebrate us, bring in some sponsors, and that's the thing is, people want to spend money to spend time with us.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we will not have no problem getting sponsors, have a nice lunch and celebrate nurses, celebrate ourselves,
All right. So y'all heard it here first.
Yes.
I guess less than 24 hours before I heard it, because Rebecca said, "Look, we're doing a brunch for this."
Yes, darling. Yes. Hopefully COVID go away. Hey, if there's it's still around, we'll have a mask and
Hey, life goes
celebrate.
on. We just have to learn how to pivot.
Exactly.
But life goes on.
Yes,
So
that's something we definitely need to do.
So we're gonna plan that, or I'm gonna let Rebecca plan it. I'm just gonna be naughty. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we need something. We need something. We do.
We can do that. No problem.
Definitely.
So, man, I'm telling you've given us so many gems. I mean, so much good information. I'm telling you, the nurses are going to love you. That's why I asked you about consulting. I know you're gonna do it. You're not doing it yet.
Yes, but you know what? People can always reach out. I'll make the time. They can always reach out. We can have a discussion. I mean, again, I've done it. I've had my agency. Like right now, I'm getting ready for my survey. So it's just like the marketing and things like that. We are working on it. But yeah, I'm always ready. I stay ready when it comes to business.
As I can tell. I mean, I can tell.
I stay ready. Yes.
That's right. You don't have to get ready. So, oh my God, it was such a pleasure. Oh my God. If people only knew the background and how much trouble we had trying to get going.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, the devil is a liar. I'm telling you, with my phone ringing like less than, I was like, no, this is not happening.
That's funny, but so we're definitely going to have you back on, and so we can talk at the real estate side, because obviously that's my niche.
Yes.
Teaching nurses about investing in real estate.
I'm looking forward to doing more. I mean, I'm really, really looking forward to doing more, and definitely will be hiring you. Because I need it. I cannot say I'm a real estate, we just so happen to have, couple houses.
Yeah.
Just so happen to,
Yeah.
But it's just like, I want to do the flip. I want to do more.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, like right now it's just like I have the funds where I can,
you can do that. Absolutely.
Because it makes no sense to just make Chase richer.
Yes,
because I know that's what they do with our money. Like, here we go with so I can so definitely I want what, instead of me just keeping it there, just go ahead and purchase
invest.
And just
absolutely. So Rebecca, tell everybody how they can reach you.
Well, they can call my office. The number is 772-324-6181. Again, that's 772-324-6181. Or they can email me at info@precise.care.
Okay, and I'm going to have all this information available too.
Yes.
So that they can click on that. All right. So they can either call you or they can send you an email.
Yes, correct.
Stay out of your inbox, huh?
Don't do it. I mean, it goes to my spam. If you're not in my friend list, I set it up that it goes straight to my spam. You know,
So
yeah.
yes, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep people out of other people's inbox. You know,
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not very professional, especially if you don't know somebody,
absolutely.
I mean, on LinkedIn you can send somebody a message, but Facebook I don't think is the place
Yeah.
to be on. Yeah, but
And that's why I always ask all my guests, how do you want to be contacted? Because just because you see them on Facebook or, that doesn't mean they want to be contacted through Facebook,
Facebook,
especially
absolutely.
business people,
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
all right. So Rebecca, one word of wisdom for the nurses out there before we go. Any advice?
Persistent. Yes. And well, I mean, be consistent, be persistent. The doors will open, just do the work, just start,
Yes.
stop saying like tomorrow. Listen, just start it, hire a consultant, and hire a good one. hire a consultant with receipts. That's my word of advice. Yeah, hire a consultant with because things are not easy. You're not always going to find the information on
Google.
Facebook or Google. Don't believe everything you read on on Facebook. So just do your research, hire somebody to help you get started.
Yes, somebody who has done it before.
Absolutely.
So Rebecca's business line keeps going off. So thanks again, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. Have a good night. It was such a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you for speaking with me this evening.
Yes.
All right.